Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and this is a very, very special episode. It will help you, and it will also help your friend if you care to share with them. We're talking about today on how blasphemy and heresy can save your life. It can help your life, and it can plunge you into that moment, or let's say that very realm of freedom that you have always been looking for, and it will also catapult your mindset to a place where you are going to be the almighty over your own life. It is not because we cannot talk about other things, but what about what is the essence of talking to you about politics, or about money, or about other domestic issue when you yourself are lost, when you don't even know who you are, when you don't understand your humanity, when your human nature is has eluded you. What is the essence of being with you as a person when you don't even know yourself, or you are not with yourself? Now, it is very paramount and very necessary for mankind to go back to the drawing table and the drawing board of their life, to be able to extract the value they carry, so they can live truly freely and also truly divine in this mortal body, in this momentary and this transient moment given to them to make a difference, and also to experience the little and minute episode of life before they are recycled and they have chance to experience more. Shall we use this little time we have, this little fragment of time, which is not itself time, that is just been reduced to chronological arrangement to measure activity and the investment of our life, our daily activity, our daily life in saying things or talking about things that does not even go, that will not even outlive us. Now, it is easy for us to come together and speak over and over again and hammer on things that will trend, that will sound so soothing and so emotional, so loving for people to hear, that they can easily just be excited about emotionally. But when we invest the intelligence that has been bestowed on us as human beings into talking about most of those things that is not transgenerational in terms of their effect, what we do is that we deny our human nature, and also we reduce ourselves to nothing else in that moment in time that is not really time at all. And so we talk about things that is going to plunge us into that realm that gives us unlimited access to what life truly means. What life truly means. Now, I want you to take a look and take cognizance of the words that I use, and I don't want you to think about them from the surface level at all. I want you to think about them so deeply, because people think that this is time. When you say, meet me here at 4 o'clock, meet me here at 12 p.m., and all of those things, that is time, but that is not time. The chronological arrangement of our activity and the bookmarking, let's say bookmarking of the things we do and how we measure our value, is not time. Time is beyond what someone can measure. Time is timeless in its own pedigree. Now we are given this gift to extract and to also exact the things that will make us become a controller of the universe, even in both the real, imaginary, and also the abstract level. But how do we invest all of this beautiful gift that is given to us? And if you find yourself in a circle of influence, or a kind of communication or conversation table where you easily get what you're saying there, you are in the wrong place. When conversation does not does not try to play a trick on the nodes of your brain and try to plunge you from where you are right now. When conversations you get yourself involved in does not take you out of your mortal body into the future that is unknown, that is timeless, you waste the capability and also the ability of your human nature getting yourself involved in such a thing. Life is more than the mundane things that we carry around and we're so emotional about. It is more than that. It is more than that. And you must understand that for you to plunge yourself into this particular realm where you are beginning now to become totally divine, even when you are in your mortal body, you must be rebellious. Your foundation must be a rebelling foundation, because normal people do not make the world a better place. I will say it like that. Normal people do not make this world a better place. And I'm pretty much passionate about this particular one because it's becoming almost a fate in terms of FATE, or becoming our reality that mankind will never be able to attain their highest level of divinity before they leave or they exceed this particular plane. And the more mankind we have who are useless in nature, who are non-entity in content, the more our world becomes a shamble of itself. And I always talk to parents about this, and I say, come parents, before you begin reproduction, or before you begin to say, okay, I want to start a family, what exactly is in your mind? What is your plan? Because the gift of unity is a gift given to you to be given back to the society. What kind of children are you going to be producing into the society? Are you ready to walk the talk? Are you ready to do all it takes to produce this complete human being who are also completely divine, and push them into the world to be a terror over the reign of foolishness and stupidity? But then these parents are not even parents that know themselves and are willing to do the hard work for themselves. We are easily carried away. And unfortunately, every object of distraction, we keep upgrading itself. We have the technology around us right now. The way we see TV before is not the way we see it now. Music are changing. Everything is changing. Even our society in real life is becoming a theater of so many drama. And so while thinking about this, something else take over your attention. While trying to put yourself in this, something else pull you out of it. And you completely are just lost in that too many crowd of thoughts in your head. And then when we ask you, who are you? You cannot even tell us in plain time that this is who I am. And who you say you are not even synonymous to it without words. Without words. We can't sit with you and just get the aura of who you are from you without you putting it in words. And then we want to reproduce after our own kind. Are we going to keep reproducing foolish people after our own foolish kind? People who cannot even stand the test of time. Children who are not sure of themselves. Children who are not blasphemous. Children who are not heretic. Children who are just a zombie who are told what to do and they do not have the audacity to query it. Is that what we want to flood the whole world about? So I was telling a friend of mine a few days ago that it is even better for you not to have a child at all than for you to produce after your own kind of foolishness, because the world is suffering from the trauma of the kind of set of people that are occupying the place of power both in religion and in politics, but they have nothing upstairs to offer. They can speak good English, they can be a good skill, a good orator and all of that, but then when you look at the content of their life, our world should be better than this. They'll see where we are. Mankind has been in existence for so many hundreds and millions of years, and the world has been in existence for so many billions of years. But look at where we are right now. Look, it seems as if the more the world is moving on and increasing in age, the more daft the mankind inside of the world becomes. Why? Because we are always quick to subject ourselves to authority. And the question of who do I submit myself to, who should model me, who should mentor me, who should package me, who should tell me where to go and how to do it, and where else to, and what to think about, should not even arise in the society of mankind at all if we want to really be a human in his fullness. Because no one was created to be the slave of another, either in terms of their mental capacity or even in terms of their spiritual ability. But look at where we are right now, where we have society and family where nobody else have a say or opinion except the one that the society has given to us as our domestic slave master. So at home, the man is the domestic slave master at home. So whatever he says is final. Now, I'm not encouraging disunity in your home, but I'm saying that men should grow up to a point whereby they also understand that the rest part of the family are also stakeholder in that family, and decision making is not their own job alone. So if you are a flawed man, if you are a man who is flawed, who has been tampered with, who has error in it, if you don't allow your wife or your children to also put their say on the table so that you can compare ideas together, what you do is that you produce children that are flawed like you, and you put so much pain and so much agony in the society for the rest of the children who are free to deal with. And then you complain that your children are being bullied at school, your children don't feel confident and comfortable. So what kind of a master have you become in your own home? In the little space where you are the Almighty, do you tell them that, listen to me or I kill you? Do you permit that atom of rebellion to come up in your children? The atom of rebellion that I'm talking about is that, are you giving them a chance to choose their own life, to draw their own hypothesis, and also permit them to be human as they have been configured and programmed to be? Truly. So many of you now, if we ask you, your wife is no more what she used to be since the time she married you, because you are taking her confidence away. So what you have at home right now is a woman that cannot even express herself. A woman that cannot even express herself. So what I want you to know is that in life, there is a lot that we need to still condescend about and give every single one of us a chance to express that rebellious part of them. Now, what does blasphemy means? And what is the meaning of heresy? In the plain definition of it, blasphemy is when you are told that this is a divine creature which you cannot see, but yet you cannot. This is beyond perfect. This person, this entity, this description is beyond perfect. And you cannot query it. So whatever that divine being says to you, all you need to do is just to trust and obey. And they even add to you, they say that there is no other way than for you to trust and obey this particular divine being. And then the moment you subject your own personality and your own freedom and free will to this divine being, the divine being now become the bridle over your mouth. So when it tells you to go left, you go left. When it tells you to go right, you go right. When it tells you to kill yourself, you kill yourself. And from that divine being who has conquered your mentality and ability to express your freedom, what happens is that religion is formed. And from generation to another generation, what happens to us is that we begin to put a layer of empty people over every single dispensation that we encounter. And gradually we take the reasoning ability and the confident ability of every mankind away from them. Just because we created an entity that you say you cannot blaspheme against this entity. An entity that was created by a man like yourself. And you must understand that the moment blasphemy is used, it is used in a way to make you be the judge over yourself, not even the judge, to be the one who condemns yourself. So you get to that point where people now put the ability and also the power or the necessity to condemn yourself in your hands. And constantly, while you're trying to go for freedom, you are also trying to look out for condemnation. And they say you can't say wrong words about this certain person, this certain creature, this certain being. While they do wrong things for you and they give you different prerequisites to same destination, or they exhibit some level of partiality and favoritism against all these creatures that are meant to be equal in the eyes of this so-called spiritual being, you are meant to trust and obey. Those who trust and obey die untimely. Now, mankind now begin to condescend the idea of blasphemy, where they become the God they prescribe to you. They become gradually the God that they have prescribed to you. Because why? They were the one who created the God that was given to you. They were the first person who came up with the initiative and also the concept of the God that was given to you. And the end product of every God is for you to fear man. The end product, the end game of every God is for you to fear man, to be a slave of another man. And first they start with God of men, and then suddenly it becomes the man of God. They exist in different planes, under different religion, as a pastor, as bishop, as a general overseer, as imams, as yogi, as spiritual leaders, as herbalists. They first start with God of man into the men of God. And so you begin to treat the men of God as you treat the God of man, because the men are the one who created the God of man. And the idea of the God of man is so that men can be God of other men. But because they have initially taken away your confidence and ability to query the instruction of this God of man and this spiritual being and this creature that is unreachable, insatiable, that cannot be reached, that cannot be seen, that is so abstract, because they have conquered the imaginary and the abstract part of you, the divine aspect of your life. When they come back to the physical aspect of your life, you just bow down to them and they tell you not to touch the anointed of this God they told you not to blaspheme against. Now I tell you the truth, every great revolution starts from blasphemy. Every great revolution starts from blasphemy. The moment you refuse to bow and to submit yourself and your divine ability and your human capacity to a God that is not seen, to a God that is not existent, to a God that man made, you become blasphemous, and then you are on your way to freedom. Because it is the God of the man that becomes the man of God that you did not bow down to, that cannot control you the moment you say, I want to take my leave. And there is no way you can be blasphemous without being heretic. What does heresy mean? What does it mean to be heretic? because they use those words to conquer you, to make you feel like someone who is a loner, someone who is the highest form of criminal in the world. Heresy simply means ability to reason outside the box and to make your own decision up for yourself. That's what heresy means. Heresy means that the truth that majority has found out to be truth is not true for you anymore, and you found your own truth and you are ready to stand by your own truth. So what you did is that you err against what is the standard code, or let me say the default setting of other men. So ability to be heretic is the ability for you to remove yourself from the default programming of other people to become who you really want to be and know yourself for yourself. And that's where freedom starts from. So there's no way you can be blasphemous without being heretic. And heresy means that someone who have control over his own mind, who can also think for himself now, whose life is not determined by the general truth. That's what heresy means. Heresy simply means a man who has seen it all, who decided to actually do it for himself instead of being done for. That's what heresy means. So when I was trying to build up this particular discussion with you, I was quite passionate and very emotional about it, because I was thinking of the right words to use so that I do not confuse you. Now, the moment you become heretic, the whole world come against you and come after you, because they want to keep you bound in the chain that is holding them bound. And at the point in time when you refuse to take the chain back, the world will say, we are praying for you, we pity you, we want you back, you shouldn't live that way, God is angry with you. You know why? Because they have created a God for themselves, and the God unseen is the one in charge of the chain they can see now. And while they are praying for you to come back to slavery, to the chain that is holding them bound, and you are saying, I'm enjoying my freedom, they tag you a name, they call you heretic, they call you antichrist, they call you atheist, they call you all sorts of names. All these names are creation of men, which was inspired by this God that they say they serve. So first they give you the God of men, and the God of men became the men of God, and they want you to treat the men of God the way you treat the God of men. By logic, you know that the man is in charge of the God, and man created the God for you also. They come with the don't touch my anointed, don't speak to a man of God like that, and they even come with the cultural blackmail. They come with the cultural blackmail where we are in a situation where to call a spade had to do with taking permission from age. So until you reach a certain kind of age, you cannot speak against some certain set of leaders who are evil, even though they are very glaring and in the open because they are older than you. Freedom never comes that way. Freedom don't come in a society where age is respected above the truth. Freedom don't come that way. And it is not this God that is no respecter of person. It is the truth that is no respecter of person. You get your scripture right. The truth is no respecter of person. And even in the mouth of the babes, the truth can be established against a lying elderly person. And so men came up one day and decided to be like, if we keep relating with each other as men, as thieves, there's possibility that people will try to query us and also put us before panel to explain why we do what we do, even when we want to exhibit the violent aspect of us, because humankind is naturally violent. And they said, okay, we're going to put the responsibility on something else, on someone else, on something they cannot see, so that they can respect it, because people are very, very oblivious of the spiritual power they carry and the divine nature they carry. And so if we say something is in charge of that, and whatever happened in the spirit is what is happening in the physical, and if someone who is in charge of the spirit is going to smack you down in the physical when you do this and that, and whenever we do evil, we say it's that God that sent us to do the evil. Whenever there is good, we say we are the one who did it for ourselves. We get the glory when it comes to our little nature that is good. We give the blame to that one that you cannot see, humanity when it comes to we exhibiting our violent aspect, and men created God and used the God to launder their own evil agenda in this world, so that when the God has now become a thing in the head of man and in the mindset of mankind, men now took the glory. You're giving too much glory to this God. This God, we created it. If we created it, we can create it. We are the men of God now. When you need God, come to us. The men took back what they have positioned in the afterlife and in the spiritual realm, took it back to themselves and asked you, bow to us now. We need you to bow to us now. And you began to bow to a man like yourself. So whatever he says is yea and amen. So when one of you says, I think daddy is doing wrong, I think mommy is doing wrong, I think this is wrong and that, you say, by the power conferred on me in this society, I am the head of this family and nobody dare goes against me, even though what you're doing is foolishness. Even though what you're doing is foolishness. Even though what you're doing is foolishness. Thank you very much for the compliment. So when we get to that spot where you begin to now reason outside the box, even though you are in the cage with them, they begin to caution you and begin to tell you there is a repercussion for your freedom. There is a repercussion. You will pay the price for this freedom you are trying to gun for. Our God will come against you. Our Father in the Lord will come against you. Our Yogi will come against you. Imam have the power to curse you. The Abbalist will strike you down. The society will go against you. And if you refuse to remain in that chain, they come against you themselves. They can take away your finance, they can take away every of your influences and all of those things, because it is not an easy road to tread. Just like the father and the head of a family try to take revenge on the son that he terms as rebellious. Have you ever been in a family before where one of you is rebellious, doesn't listen to all the rest of the family? What is the reaction of your father? Now, the one who is rebellious, he or she knows this is what I want to do for my life. The rest of you who are listening, who are obeying and trusting, you only do what pleases father and mother. And sometimes, most of the time from the experience of life, you realize that the rebellious one out of your family is the most successful one, the most exposed one, the most popular one, the most free one amongst you. The rest of you that want to be daddy's baby, mommy's baby, and all of that, see how you ended up today. So what I'm trying to tell you today is that, come, see, the subject of blasphemy and rebellion is a good thing. So when they say you are blasphemous and you are heretic, you should be happy that you have gotten to that stage where freedom matters to you more than anything man is trying to build around your head. Freedom matters to you than that. And I want to ask you this. How do you get to the point where you need to take permission from someone else to do what is good for you? How? When did you get to that space? How did you get to a point whereby if you don't go to pray with someone else or go to consult someone else, the decision you want to make about your life, your family, your business and all that, you don't think is right? How did you get to that space? And the day you choose that I don't want to be this kind of person anymore, that I'm not going to take permission from my father in the Lord, from my mother in the Lord, from the yogi, from the imam, from the spiritual leader, from the herbalist. See, that day you become the enemy of the one who says, I love you with an unconditional love. That day you will know the true color of the one who introduced you to what unconditional love means. That day is the day you have stepped into freedom. If you linger in it too long enough, you realize that you are the God you have been praying to. You are that God that you have been looking for. You are that the mighty one over the situation of your life. Nothing else, no one else. Nobody, not your pastor. And do you know why they're so scared of you leaving that art, that particular flock, that particular chain and cage? Because they know the moment you know that they are not as powerful as they claimed, their relevance diminishes. One blasphemous human being can create a lot of problem to a God that was created by man. One heretic human being can bring down a certain setting that has lingered on lies for so many decades down. and they can't reach to lose you. And they will come at you with so many emotional blackmail and try to threaten you indirectly, telling you how you will die in so time. And I'm telling you that for you to be blasphemous and to be heretic, you must first of all look at death in the face and say, the highest you can do is to take away my breath. You can't kill me. If I leave now, I'll come again. And at that point, you have taken your freedom from death. Any God is challengeable for you. Anyone can be challenged by you. So we're talking about now, how do we consider you as a full human being, as a complete human being, when you cannot even make up your own mind by your own self? You are currently locked in a cell. You are in a jail right now, and the key to get out of that jail is right beside you, and you are waiting on the jailer to come and let his own will be done. You are in a jail with the key to get out of the confinement that you are in, but you are pleading and renting lawyers and hiring advocates and calling on jailer to please have mercy on you. To please have mercy on you. To please have mercy on you. So someone is asking me here right now, Victor is asking, so are you saying that there is no God? See, God is whatever you make God to be. God is whatever whatever it is that you think God is. What is God? If I ask you what is God now, or who is God, you cannot describe God beyond your thought pattern. So that's how God was made. There's no way you can tell me about God without thinking about it. God is a product of your own thoughts, and you decided to submit yourself to the thought that you created by yourself. So on the day you say there's no God, yes, in you there's no God. On the day you say there is God, you say, yeah, there is God. On the day you say your God is in heaven, yes, you will be looking up to heaven. The day you say, my God is not in heaven, God is in me, and only I can be him, that day you become free indeed. So the concept of God is not like, you see, what we are talking about right now is not that there's no God, but that God is something different from you. That is what we are against now. We are not even against it. That's what we are trying to explain now. See, the concept of God is good for mankind. The concept of God puts mankind under subjection, under control. The concept of God help mankind to take responsibility, but the concept of some God help mankind to shy away from responsibility. What is the effect of God on you so far as a Christian, as a Muslim? You shy away from responsibility? That's the concept of God to you. So what you ought to do for yourself, you ask God to come and do it for you. And in the same scripture, in the same Quran that you are reading, it says that God is not a man. And God is spirit. So does spirit read books? Or you want to pass your examination and you are saying, God, come and give me success. And you know the road to pass examination is to read your books very well. Will God read books for you? So at that time, you become your own God. If you need success, you read book. You know what to do. So the concept of God is not that there is no God at all. We cannot deny the concept of God, because God is either what take responsibility away from you or make you take responsibility by yourself. You get a point now? So when you now say, okay, which one is better? Which one is quicker? Which one should I go for? Do I go for that concept of God that takes away responsibility from me, that render me perpetually useless, that make me expect the UFO or the aliens or the people from the terrestrial or the celestial world to come to my aid? Or should I go for the kind of God that says to me that this is what you need to do to get to the destination you're looking for, and I get it done? Then the concept of God to me is God is me. I am my God, and in this situation, I am the Almighty over it. I know what it takes to make it work, and I'm going to get to work. So that's the concept of human being God. But then how can you get to that spot in life when you are constantly being dictated for, being dictated to, being told what to do, how to do it? Because a full human being that is complete should not even wait on someone else to tell them how. How? The question of how should not even arise in your human experience. Because the moment you ask how from someone else, what you're saying is that this is my crown. Step on it, be the king over my life. Whatever you say, I go with it. Now, I'm not saying be proud or be full of yourself, but what I'm saying to you right now is that the concept of going to consult someone as an authority over your life should not even happen. Because you are completing yourself, except you are too lazy to tap into yourself. Now, this is not another motivational talks. I don't do motivational talks. I do reality. And things I teach you, I also have done it. I've practiced them. And the scientists are saying something like, we have not really exhausted 2% of our brain capacity. You see, those who see vision is a functionality of their frontal lobe. Those who are sensitive to know this is about to happen, those who have the analytical gift. I won't call it gift. Those who have the analytical nature being activated in them. It's not beyond the functionality of their brain. Now, what work are you putting in your brain to be able to see tomorrow, right now, today? Are you putting it as a responsibility of one God to come and show you all these things? So you are taking responsibility to analyze the data you have gathered today and make conclusion about what might happen tomorrow. Prophecy, revelation is pure intelligence. How intelligent are you as a person? We are so busy looking forward to artificial intelligence coming to our aid, but we have not exhausted the natural intelligence. The natural intelligence. We are so crazy about AIs, and we do not know fully even 1/4 of what NIs can do for us. Under the natural intelligence, we have the emotional intelligence. How much have you invested in making use or engaging your EIs, the emotional intelligence, to relate with person right next to you, to gather data, to be able to live with the worst person in the world and still be in unity and be able to extract the goodness in them? All of these things, you begin to now see that these are your responsibility. The day you become blasphemous against this God, and you become heretic against the teaching and the doctrine of this God. No great freedom comes without blasphemy. Is that blasphemy against the government of the nation, or heresy against the constitution that is oppressing the poor and enriching the wealthy? It is because humankind allow it. Humankind got to that spot where they put their hands on their chest and say, who will help us now? That constitution and laws and policy and regulations and doctrines are being given to them. That, okay, if you are waiting for me to come and help you, to be your savior, you are to live your life to be my servant. And they were given that conditions that, okay, we will help you. The 4% of the world population will continually help the 96% of the world population, but the 96% of the world population will continually submit their wealth, their thinking faculty, and the ability to be truly human, truly divine in the doorstep or at the feet of the 4% of the world population. So I'm saying, which one do you want to be part of, the 4% or the 96%? And you can't be part of the 4% if you are not blasphemous, if you are not heretic. So heresy, blasphemy is not a word that you should run from. Those who want to be great in life become heretic and blasphemous. They query things in a nutshell. They query things and you can't just tell them black is black and they should just take it like that. They will tell you to prove it why black is black. You can't just tell them that America is good for you and they'll just go ahead and put their money down. You can't just tell them I can't give you this visa and they just walk away. They'll tell you the reason. If I'm coming back to apply again, you got to tell me the paper I'm bringing. I don't have money to waste. Look at it right now. A visa is even a privilege for you. You even go to the church of your God to go and thank him for the things that man created. So thank him for the paper man came together to pass into law. So when we tell you that man is your God, you refuse. And man has continually shown you as continuously, they are continuous in their showing you in their exhibition of the fact that they are God here on earth. So you want to be free indeed. You got to be a crazy person. You want to get to that space in life where you dictate strictly for yourself how you want the event of things to turn out. You are to be a mad person. Normalcy don't make this world go round. Abnormal people make the world go round. So let's bring it down to family now. What kind of a man are you? What kind of a man are you? Have you become this God that must be trusted and obeyed? What kind of a woman are you? Is it a kind of woman that says that anything that you are about is so final? And whatever our daddy says is final. Your husband is not your father. First, you have to take away that mentality of slavery. And we don't even know how wonderful your father was. Maybe your father was another slave master to your mother. So automatically you have another Lord as a husband. Marriage is about team playing. It's not about Lord and Savior. No. So I speak to the man now. We are talking about producing children who are blasphemous, who are heretic. Children who can make their own decision up for themselves. Children who are so confident and so bold in the society where nobody can tell them nonsense and they'll just come home with it for you. We are talking about children who are fully human, who are also fully divine. Children who can query things. It starts with the parent. And we talk about the man now. What kind of a man are you? Authoritarian? Disciplinarian? My word is here, name a kind of man? Is that the kind of man that you are? Because why? You think society has conferred in you the authority to rule and not to lead. So you want to make decisions concerning your family. You just just tell the children this and that's final. Or do you call it a round table meeting? Is it an all-inclusive family you run? Or just me and the rest kind of family? Because the children are watching you. The children are watching you, helping them to build up their self-esteem and also their courage also. The world you are sending them into, you will not be there with them. They need to be able to stand on their own. So when you teach them that this confidence, this blasphemy, this heresy, this ability to think outside the box and queries decision begins from home, when someone tries to mess them up outside, they don't take nonsense. It is until we begin to raise such children that religion begins to lose its hold on them. Until we begin to raise such children who can read between the lines, who can also query things, who will not be preached over, who will not be sermoned upon, who can stand up and ask questions and ask, now sir, well, you said this, but look at this, prove this and that. Religion will continually win. And the moment religion wins over a people, politics will win also. Because a branch of religion is politics. You don't know? A branch of religion is politics, where some selected few people make decisions for the rest of us, and either we like it or not, we just have to take it like that. All your politicians have a spiritual father, either in Islam or Christianity, either in the traditional way. They have a spiritual father. They are product of what religion is creating in our world. The master-slave relationship. The master-slave relationship. So what I'm trying to say to you today is that you have been told that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Have you queried that? Who created God? Have you bothered? You told me you are free. You are not free enough to think or imagine or even ask your pastor, sir, you keep saying God created God. Who created God? Let him give you one substantial answer. What did they tell you? Trust and obey. You don't query the man of God. You told me you are free. You are a slave. So who wrote the story about this God? Moses wrote the story about this God, right? How did he come about the story about this God? They say he saw it in a vision. And this vision, have you proven if it is true or false? No one is trying to talk about that. You know, told you Jesus walked on water. How? Can we practice it now? It turned water into wine. How? Can we practice it now? 2,000 years is a long time for things to reoccur. 2,000 years, I say again, is too much a long time for things to reoccur. If it has happened before, it should have happened again. You told me you are not a slave, but you are not questioning that. You're not questioning that. So a part of the Bible told you that that God came down. This God. Is it the right God whenever He pleases them? This God, to make Abraham look someone so divine and so close to the celestial being. They said God came down with two other men. They ate, they drank, they did whatever. Some went to Sodom and Gomorrah. He stood before God Himself. He was negotiating the life of the rest and blah blah blah. God said, "Can I do this without confirming for my friend?" And all of those things, Abraham, and blah blah things like that. And they got to the book of the New Testament, and I think John chapter 4, and the one you called, you later call God, the one you first called the Son of God. I don't know if you are the bastard of that God. The one you called the Son of God later said God is spirit, not a man. You worship Him in spirit and in truth. You cannot see Him and He cannot see you, and you never bother to query it. You say you are free. How free are you? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you that when you die in jihad, that you are making it to paradise straight away. And you will open your eyes to 72 virgins and the best of wine. And you never bother to ask yourself, if I blow myself up on earth and I was species with a sword on earth, with which private organ will I sleep with these 72 virgins? You never bothered. So the leader of the Muslim folks said, come, if you don't die in jihad, you will first go to Jahannam, which is the hell, where you will be born until the day of judgment. And he never died in jihad. He died in his own home. You didn't bother. It's not a source of concern for you that you're following a man who is still burning in hell today, because as far as you also validate, the day of judgment has not come. You said you are not a slave. You say you are free. But these questions you never bother to ask. You never bother to ask. And they tell you that this God is your father. But to get things from this God, you have to fast. Do they have to go starving and hungry before they get things from you? But you said you are free. You never bothered to ask. You never bothered to ask. And first, this Jesus was introduced to you as a son of God. And all of a sudden, He became the God that you worship. The most talented human being on earth, the best of voice, the best of lyrical movements, the best of musical arrangement, is now being used to sing about a fellow man like yourself. A fellow man like yourself. But whenever you want to feel good about yourself, whenever you want to express your love for yourself, you reach out to people like Nat King Cole, Dolly Parton, Sonia Day, and the rest of them to help you express your love to one another. When you yourself want to express love, you express love to someone who is dead long ago, something not useful. And the most beautiful time that you call the intimacy time with your lover, you don't put on music saying, Jesus come and take control, Allah come and take control. No, you play some beautiful music that is useful for man. If those ones also said, let's put everything on Jesus, Yeshua, and all those things, what will you use to express the moment of love? You said you are free. So if I propose to you a business right now, instead of you to go into and say, please give me time to do feasibility studies and make researches on who has done this and is successful, all you tell me is that let me go and pray about it. You said you are free. Will prayer bring me profit? Is prayer going to give me the curves of business? That's why you fail. That's why those who believe in God fail woefully in business, and they say God is calling them. Why? Because praying to God does not give you feasibility studies. It cannot replace market research. He said you are free. But look at you now. So I come to you because I see you look like a woman. I want to marry you. You have the right cause and you have the right attitude and all that. And I said that I want to marry you. And tell me that I should give you some time. You go to the mountain to go and ask God. So when my humanity take over, or my real self take over, or I begin to express my violent part, or my not so good part, you have prayed to this God, but He did not show you that one day I could be crazy with you. You said you are free. But look at you. So instead of you to go back to what they call human resources management, how to cope with the madman in the same house, or a madwoman in the same house, or how to cope with a nagging wife, or how to improve on yourself to stay afloat of every kind of bad attitude and nagging and whatever it is that this other person might bring in their moment of tantrum and their moment of crisis, you rather go and pray. You say it's a war room and it doesn't stop me from cheating on you. You said you are free. Can't your God do anything about it? So look at it right now. Everything you have called God to come and help you do, how successful are they today? Or you are just patching them? Is this how you want to train your children also to be? Living a life of regret in the closet and giving glory to God in the open. My name is Greatman Ayilara, and I don't know how else to say this. But it's going to be good if you can share with your friends and let them also come to terms with the reality that come. Whatever it is they are looking for in the space is right within them. Your God is a you, and only you can find Him. And until you begin to query that God that is outside of you and be heretic about the teaching they say about Him, you're never going to know your pathway to freedom. And when you have accessed freedom, first they will try to blackmail you emotionally, bring you back in, pray for you, cry about you and all that. But when they realize they can bring you back to the cage, they disown you. And when they disown you, they also take away every form of support. The mention of God is love does not apply to them that time. Those ones who say we love you unconditionally now begin to show you the other part of them. For you to know, they never know who God is. They were never serving God. They just want an image in the cage of this religion they find themselves. Namaste.